No, she can't make it today.
Madam Chair, I understand the Mayor has requested that matter be deferred to another day because she can't make the rest of this meeting. And from our point of view, that doesn't raise a great issue in that we were suggesting putting that into the introduction part of the plan, which, as we've explained, would be the non-statutory part of the plan. It's an information section. Remember the discussion we had, our concern about putting it in the objectives and policies? Yes. And again, that's something we can bring back to you if and when we're ready to notify. That's it. From here, the proposal was that if we'd got through all of these things, then we would be looking to come to you, and there was a tentative date, I think, of the 5th of June, Thursday the 5th of June, where we would bring the chapters basically for Council to approve those being sent to the ministers. And at that stage, we would have brought to you any minor matters to deal with at that time as well. Yes. That's correct. Correct. That's the date. It could do. Yes. I would agree. Yes, please. Monday looks like a good day. I think that'd be worthwhile because it is a matter that central government is interested in, particularly what we put into that vision statement. Yes. Correct. Correct.
Alan, can I just ask you a very technical question? Like, we've had it all that's in paper, and that's fine, and we've put aside the drafts. Now, here's the thing. With the plan when it's electronic, okay?
Yes.
For everybody, I'm assuming there'll be sort of cross links between the different parts.
Correct.
So in fact, yeah, so should be able to go from one part of the plan quite quickly to the other.
That is the plan, and also technically we can do all that. There is a time frame in which we can take it as far as we'd like to. So in the first instance, yes, you'll be able to navigate across the plan quite quickly and easily. Then we'd be looking to try and put lots of additional links in so you can work within the plan itself, so within a chapter, and link yourself across and pull all your links together and just pull out the bit that you want. So if you want the parking stuff as well as the activity status, you can just click on all of those and it produces it for you. That's the plan. Just the definitions, and then we had the university parking was the only outstanding matter. Sure, if that correct, yes. If you'd like to do that, that's fine. Just stay here, Janine. That's fine. Yeah.
Just email my colleagues your handout, which just relates the extra things that have been asked to do on last day also.
Just hand them out if you like to. Yeah, that's fine. That's it. Phase 2. We're going to do phase 2, and we're going to get ourselves geared up for notification and submissions. Correct.
All right. So just on university parking, what I've just provided you is the latest version of the table that we've just amended following our discussion yesterday. So we've made it clear following the discussion how many staff parks that the university needs to provide. So there's a column for staff parks, there's a column for residents, visitors and student parks. So staff, the university will have to provide 5.5 spaces for 100 FTE students for staff, and they will have to provide 20 spaces per 100 FTE students for residents, visitors and students. So the total amount hasn't changed, it's just we've made it more clear as to how much will be allocated for staff and how much will be allocated for everyone else.
So is there any requirement?
No, not on this table, and we don't normally do that. Most district plans don't do that. It's really a management issue for the private landowner as to how much they provide for visitors versus... Yeah, for full time, yeah. It means about 3,000 spaces all up. They've got about that at the moment. So, give or take 100. Yeah, it's around 3,000. So these parking requirements will apply to all tertiary education and research activities. So that will be the Island site, also the Dovedale site, and any other tertiary education facilities. Obviously not CPIT because that's within the 4 AVs, but
Island site and Dovedale are lumped as one.
yeah.
For parking, how is it treated?
So, I think, was it you were reading your question yesterday about if they provide all the parking at Dovedale?
Yes.
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 So that would be assessed through the integrated transport assessment, as to because of the size of the development, they would need to go for an integrated transport assessment, and we'll be able to assess whether the location of the parking is sufficient, is reasonably close for what they're proposing.
Correct.
Yes. Yes, yep, this is all for future. We can't be retrospective on this.
Supplied on each part of the campus or over the campus as a whole. So conceivably, if I was the University of Canterbury, I could supply 2,000 car parks at Dovedale, but have 11,000 of my students at the Island site.
So this doesn't apply to, this can't be retrospective, so it doesn't apply to their current development.
Their current development, is this more car parks or fewer car parks?
Well, if they do any further development, then they will have to provide more car parks.
Okay. In terms of their current requirement under the operative plan, how many car parks per 1,000 students are they required?
Yeah, so it is the same as what's under the operative plan.
And are they required to put all of these car parks on their land or on our roads?
They are required to put them all on their land, off-road.
Off-road?
Yes.
Right. Okay, any comments? Jimmy?
My concern at the moment regarding to the Dovedale Street and Parkstone Road, they already, fully occupied by the student car in that area. So if this stage by stage, to build a new accommodation for students, but based on your the new rule in here, 20 spaces out of the 100 full-time student or staff, just 5.5. They probably still shift to the, their car to park in the on street along the Dovedale and Parkstone and surrounding the area. Maybe this parking issue more getting worse. So how to alleviate this situation? Because as you are aware, in that area, the resident association individually, they already make a bigger complaint.
Yeah. So we had this discussion yesterday, and I supplied some information which I might have left on your desk yesterday, and I can supply it to you if you don't have it. That the university, we've done a lot of surveys with the university, and only about 30% of students drive to the university. The rest either cycle or walk or catch public transport. So we're quite confident with these figures that it will, based on the surveys, will provide enough parking to meet their demand, because obviously not all the students turn up at the same time. So we're not going to provide for 30%. That's why we're providing for about 25% of the students.
meet their demand for new development going forward. It can't be seen in retrospectively, so we can't address the existing issues through these provisions. So for new development, we're confident in the figures that they'll provide sufficient car park for the amount of students, the amount of staff, but it's not going to get rid of the existing issue that you have.
There's 30% of the students have drive a car, but I'm concerned it's only Dovedale, this campus, rather than the island campus. I mean, this.
Yeah, that survey was taken over the whole of the university. Yeah, we don't have data to say how many drive to Dovedale versus Island, but they're so close it's probably pretty similar because the public transport's pretty similar.
They're actually not close in terms of car parking. If you park at the corner of Dovedale campus, it takes you a good 17, 18 minutes to walk to the first part of the Island campus. So you're never going to park there. And so their total number of car parks includes both, which is kind of bizarre. It's like the parking for Riccarton Mall being at Church Corner, really, in impact. You know, a 17 minutes walk is very similar. Yeah.
Well, you might go early to lectures. I don't know. I think these are pretty reasonable spaces for students to car park. I know there's an impact on residents. We've got a whole strategic transport plan that includes public transport and cycling. We're putting the uni to cycleway, as I said yesterday, through there. And I get, like, the research shows that students, these current students, are more affluent than previously, and they are likely to have more cars. But it doesn't mean we keep on requiring the university to have car parks for every little one. So
I totally buy that, and I totally buy that you don't provide as many car parks so that people actually are encouraged to do that. The difficulty is that some of the car parks on the site at the university at present, and I appreciate it's not an issue for the district plan review, are completely unusable, and it would be really good if somebody would go and slap them and make sure that they were usable, and also that what they're doing is putting both campuses together is actually meaning that their car parking is not adjacent to the end use, which is kind of interesting.
Just on that issue, Madam Chair, David has had a few preliminary discussions with the people from council who are chatting with the University of Canterbury about their travel plan, so that conversation has started. So we made them aware of the issues that you brought to our attention yesterday, so that'll go into the conversation around the travel plan, and I really think that's probably the best mechanism, because for future development they'll be required to do an integrated transport assessment. Part of that consideration will be the travel plan itself, and that's probably the best mechanism to try and deal with that existing plus the new issues.
Like a development plan for the Dovedale campus as part of their last round of funding. Yep, Yanni.
You know, I mean, I'm not happy about this, but I accept, you know, what you're saying. But we do need to. But if you think about like this outside of the CBD and maybe some of the shopping malls, this would have probably one of the most intensive types of activity in the city on a day-to-day basis.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I think the idea of having an integrated public passenger transport terminal is really important. So, do we have any, I know we've kind of had this we do the integrated traffic assessment, but if they don't want to provide extra car parking, then I think the requirement should be that they do provide, you know, off-street bus facilities for public transport that is in an enclosed, you know, terminus kind of thing. So is there any way that we can do that as well? Yeah, like you know, you think about like a bus lounge basically, rather than just, you know, again, us paying for the cost of providing amenities that they should be providing, in my view.
So, right. Okay.
Many is focused on the Davao campus rather than Island. Island already have the car park, parking place. Davao, this my understanding, school just focus on accommodation, only in the Davao.
So when they come to do their plan, that we actually look at public transport set down points within the university campus, so that just like we're putting bike lanes out there, that there is actually good bus provision in and around the university and maybe through the university.
So yeah, we've got assessment matters and an integrated transport assessment to look at that. Obviously, ECAN control the bus route, so I think through the travel plan, we will work with ECAN and with the university and look at this issue. Yeah.
Because you drive down there and you can...
I'm assuming, given that they don't, that when you get a ticket as a visitor to the university, that they can't do that because actually all the student car parks and the visitor ones are rolled into one.
I don't think there's anything to stop you doing that through the integrated transport assessment to seek better clarity in terms of what were visitor car parking and what's for students and what's for workers.